Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It is Monday, June 14th, 2021. Hope everybody had a great weekend. If you're just waking up now, well, Bitcoin's turned up the heat a little bit. Things are looking good. We're above 40K for the first time in 2 weeks? Yes, nice breakout seemingly underway on Bitcoin. We have some overhead resistance that's just overhead, probably around 42K, 43K-ish. So let's not celebrate too early yet, but it does feel good crawling our way out of a pretty big hole. And of course, alts are reacting accordingly. Alts turning it up in a big way as well today. So going to get into all this latest price action and more on today's episode of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. As always, joined by two of the CC analysts. Got Alex and Jason with us today. How are you boys doing? Let's hear from Alex first.
I'm well, thank you.
Had a good weekend?
Yeah, just packing shit basically.
All right, Jason, my man, how's the sunburn?
Oh, it's feeling pretty good. I got myself some aloe just in case, right? But no, I had a great weekend. Went to a pizza festival as well as went to boating. So that was just a fun weekend. The funny thing was, when I went boating, Bitcoin was at 36K, and the last time I went boating was about a year ago. And I'm like, I left my phone on the shore, and then the last year I came back and price had spiked like 10%. And of course, it's the exact same thing that happened this time. So I guess I just have to go boating more and start rolling.
Someone buy this man a boat.
I guess I gotta get a boat.
Time to diversify some of those altcoin gains into some marine equipment, I suppose.
Nautical equipment.
Yes, gonna hit the high seas here for real this time. So, trying to get capsized, boys. You know, don't over leverage as always. Don't want to sink that portfolio. Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it, guys. You know how these next 2 hours is going to unfold. We're going to go from the first hour where we cover the this intro segment, quick overview of the latest price action before we get into the news. Then we're going to, of course, shout out the audience before we get into the analysis brought to you by Alex. He's going to overview the latest market action, macro, minor, you name it. We're going to look at it all. Finally, second hour, we're going to get into the AMA and the chart request section. So if you guys have any chart requests, hang tight. We'll get to them in the latter half of the show. In the meantime, I guess it's about time we kick it from here. Let's do it. Let's see here. Let's bring up my trading view window here and review the price action with some of the CC indicators here on screen. All right, here's a look at Bitcoin on the daily. Currently at $40,000 on the dot here on Bybit. And yeah, here we are, seemingly breaking out of the range, but barely. And yeah, let's see here. WADA building some momentum indeed above the filter here, this volatility filter, and even Minx turned up yesterday's close. Yes, Minx posted a long on the close yesterday, which closed at 39,000. Yes, I would approach this with caution, guys. Something tells me this, I mean, as promising as a minor breakout of the range is, I still feel like this is just that move up to test the lower 40s that we've been talking about seemingly for the last couple weeks. You know, we wandered around here ready to for a cataclysmic test below 30,000. We seemingly pulled out of it, and it makes
The thing is, it's usually the moment that you give up on the thesis that it starts to play out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like right when you think, oh nope, we're just gonna go down, then all of a sudden you get the bounce.
Indeed, and you know, and for this reason, I might very well stick to the forecast we've been discussing on the show for the last couple of weeks. Yeah. And yeah, maybe a test here of the 40 range, 40,000 something, and might get the FOMO going, might get those bullish juices flowing in retail suckers yet again. You're gonna have, of course, Elon coming through with the tweets. Kind of pouring a bit more rocket fuel.
I definitely do not feel like this Elon news. Everybody's positioning it like it's bullish. We're gonna be going over, right?
Yes, we certainly will, but I mean, I'm trying not to credit him with too much market moves. Of course, crypto Twitter, the wider commentary in the space is, of course, citing Elon at every opportunity they can get. This is no different. With that said, there is some decent developments. Still arriving. We have. I feel like we might have left some of the energy Bitcoin FUD behind. Maybe things aren't all bad, and maybe the conditions will be ripe, I guess is what I'm saying, for a bit of a FOMO to enter the space. People who might have sold the bottom out of desperation. A move up to the mid 40s would probably get a lot of people piling back in, ostensibly on the wrong side of the market. Leading in maybe some more tiers to come. So I still think maybe our original thesis is something we're apt to stick to. Test to the 40s before a trip down to test, the bottom of the range again, or very likely maybe even fill a gap in the 220,000s. Maybe complete heartbreak.
Still got that gap at 26.
Yep, exactly. Gap at 26. Maybe something to really get the FOMO going here, and heartbreak when we trip down to in the teens maybe. Before we maybe move on to make all-time highs. Yes, that's the thesis. We'll see how it plays out very loosely. But not much here to say besides that on Bitcoin. It does look pretty decent, especially with WADA coming online now. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ooh, Ethereum. Yesterday's close was kind of right on the Keltner channel line. Today, of course, following in the steps of Bitcoin. Ethereum currently at 25.65, but Minx has yet to pull up above zero. And there's definitely no signs of life on WADA, so there's likely not much of a long signal here on the table. So approach with caution. Ethereum looking a little lackluster, if I say so myself. Yeah, hasn't really broken out of the range. Seems to be setting higher lows, though. There's that, but not particularly strong setup here. So there's your quick look at Ethereum. Here's EOS still buried below the baseline, looking a lot like Ethereum, basically. Not much to do here. Currently at $5.21. Let's take a quick peek over at Doge. Doge at 33 cents, seemingly following Bitcoin a little closer. Yeah, same deal. Indicators.
It's certainly really interesting looking for a reversal here.
You talking about Doge?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Wow. Well, doesn't look particularly exciting to me, but yeah, here it is in the Keltner channel. Is this?
I didn't say I was excited. I just said it's interesting looking for a reversal.
Understood. Yeah, not much to do on Doge. Currently at 33 cents.
Look how well that baseline's working though, just pinning it in there.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Let's have a look at Link. Yes, here's Link. Looking a bit like the Ethereum chart, poking its head about the baseline. Other indicators not really firing. Still a lot of probably trapped under this resistance over here. Yeah, Link $24. Not much going on at Link. XRP. Here's XRP slowly chiseling away. Trying to make some recovery here. 90-cent XRP. Had a bullish weekend, I suppose, at least someone.
It's kind of had a bullish day. I mean, today it's gone up quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess the last 48 hours, it's up nearly 10%. So XRP posting some decent move here, but again, not looking otherwise strong for any kind of follow through. Indicators are kind of flat on their face. Not much to do in XRP except check in on everybody's favorite stable coin, currently at 90 cents. Let's have a look at Polkadot. Polkadot, yeah, turning up decently. Currently at 24.79. Indeed. Is this a good springboard here? Damn. Well, indicators, same deal. Like many of these coins, indicators still looking a bit lackluster, but let's take a look. It's up Wow, nearly 20% since Saturday evening. So decent gains over the last 48 hours on Polkadot. Is this signs of strength over at DOT? Maybe. Here's a look at Kusama. Kusama, check out holding a decent amount of support along the baseline of the last few weeks of price action. $428 Kusama presently. Although Minx is starting to dip below the baseline, or below the zero line, I should say. Not much really to do here on Kusama. We'll see what comes next. Here's a quick look at MATIC, $1.52 a MATIC. MATIC seemingly, well, kind of bearish. Not much to do on MATIC. And here's a look at BNB, $368 BNB above the baseline. Other indicators pretty stale. Not much else to say here. Uni, same deal, $23 above the baseline though, but steep resistance above. Cardano, $1.56, mostly bearish. Not much to say here either. Here's a quick look at GME. Here's GME. Is this on the verge of a breakdown? Here's today's price action. Currently at $225. It seems like we closed below the baseline. Was this probably Thursday? Yes, this was probably Thursday. Friday, touched the baseline. Since rejected. Is GME about to take a big tumble? Minx is crossing down below zero today. Even Wanda is starting to show early signs of flipping bearish. Yeah, I'm not sure I dabble in GME, but you make me wonder, is this thing around to tumble? Or maybe this is a bad spot to short it.
Doesn't look the best.
Doesn't look too great. Let's check in on the other Wall Street bets short squeeze for the decades. Wow, AMC taking an opposite tack, currently at $57. Might very well charge for a test of all-time highs. Doesn't look too bad. In fact, today's candle on Minx is printing a continuation close. We'll see how this works out. Best of luck, Reddit traders. Let's get into the next segment. Let's do it. Let's flip the Bitcoin chart to the hourly. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to leave the hourly Bitcoin chart on screen as we dive into the next segment. Let's get into the news, guys. Let's see what the latest happenings in the space look like. All right, let's have a look. This article here recapping some of the excitement over the weekend. Bitcoin soars past 40,000 following the Musk tweet and Tanzanian news. That's right, Bitcoin rose over 14% following Elon Musk's announcement that Tesla will reinstate Bitcoin purchases once 50% of miners are using clean energy. That's right. There's a bit of a caveat there, but still, people read the first half of the statement, and that was it. Apparently, Bitcoin credited with going up thanks to this tweet. The price of Bitcoin rose 14% on Monday, crossing the 40K mark. Yes, we've copped all this. Wave of positive sentiment came on the back of a number of tweets from Elon Musk, Tesla CEO. Let's see if we can't pull this tweet up right here. Yes, great. We have this one here. Let's see here. Well, we have this one tweet here on screen. Elon Musk clarifying whether or not Tesla dumped any of its Bitcoin overboard in the middle of all this sell-off of the month of May and June. Musk clarifying yesterday, this is inaccurate. Tesla only sold 10% of its holdings to confirm Bitcoin could be liquidated easily without moving the market. When there's confirmation of reasonable 50% or up to 50% clean energy usage by miners with positive future trend, Tesla will resume adding Bitcoin transactions. Yes.
Ridiculous. I mean, that's like saying that, I mean, we draw the electricity from the fucking grid. It's like saying, okay, wait until the world is on 50% renewable energy. It's just totally a ridiculous statement. This guy's just so ignorant.
This guy.
He flip-flops a lot. It's
because he's a scam artist.
Yes, he's not a particularly favorable guy to have in the captain's seat, to be rocking the markets highly. This is already in a volatile market. Last thing we need is a volatile character like this, but alas, we don't choose.
Yeah, Crypto Bull brings up a good point. Yeah, I'm sure Elon's real concerned about moving the market.
Yeah, right. But indeed, this tweet, of course, kind of reinvigorated some of the sentiment in the space, seemingly. Let's have a look. Let's continue. And of course, there was an announcement from the Republic of Tanzania about making plans to legitimize a Bitcoin. This, of course, after a move last week from El Salvador. Also legitimizing Bitcoin as a official currency, so to speak. Musk has been something of a Pied Piper to Bitcoin since the electric car maker announced a $1.5 billion Bitcoin buyback in February, and of course later announced that going to allow Bitcoin payments for some of their cars. Soon after, we know how this wound up, actually hurting us more than it probably helped pump things. Let's see here. Musk catching flack again. Indeed. All right, let's not dwell too long on Musk. Indeed. Seems like a lot of market participants, the whales, the market makers, they take the opportunity to strike. They probably have alerts set up. Musk has just tweeted keyword Bitcoin. Move the market now, boys. Pump it. Dump it. The Bogdanov brothers have bots running. Bogdanov. Running bots based on Trump, Elon Musk tweets, Trump tweets too, maybe.
I'm telling you, that's funny that you said that, because I said this before. I feel like Elon is just like picking up where Trump left off, or maybe like Trump got his handle or something. That's why he's going nuts. Like, it's very weird.
Indeed, yeah. We had we saw this phenomenon seemingly at work with Trump.
Yeah.
Trump tweets did seem to buoy the markets from time to time. Yes, as Musk become now the new prolific Trump tweeter. Yes. Tweeter, yes, he's the new Trump equivalent. He's the Trump equivalent. What Trump was to politics and maybe the mainstream markets, Elon is now for the cryptocurrency space. With that said, let's dive into the next item here. This one comes from the Block Crypto. Goldman Sachs is planning to offer Ethereum futures and options to its client. Goldman Sachs plans to expand its client-facing crypto offerings with Ether options and futures, according to a Monday report from Bloomberg. The move is expected to develop in a few months. Let's see here. Reported. Goldman Sachs moved to restart its crypto services this year amid growing interest among institutional investors and among its own client base, as previously reported. The core of these offerings is centered around derivatives tied to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. The Wall Street mega bank has moved to beef up its investments in the crypto space in recent days as well. Goldman led a $15 million funding round for Coinmetrics, a deal that saw McDermott join the data startup board of directors. Goldman was among the investors in Block Damon's Series A round announced last week, with Goldman contributing about $5 million to the $28 million funding round in total. According to Bloomberg, Goldman appears to be eyeing other investments in the crypto space as well. Quote,
$5 million to Goldman is like literally pocket change, right? It's like, okay, here you go. Here's $5 million.
Yeah, but kind of, demonstrates maybe the water is warm. They're dipping their toes in. Not necessarily a bad sign. We're looking at a number of different companies that fit into our strategic direction, McDermott told the publication. McDermott, of course, head of digital assets over there at JP Morgan. So there you go, guys. You an institutional investor? Are you a big fat client over at Goldman Sachs? Guess what? You might have Ether futures and options markets coming your way later this year. Here's a story from Cointelegraph. Ridiculed no more. U.S. Space Force will launch an NFT line. We can now put this launch and Neil Armstrong's historic achievements on the immutable ledger and memorialize and tokenize it on an NFT that the public can participate in, said Eternity Chain CEO Nick Rose. All right, so Space Force. Yes.
I told you they'd figure out a way to use this thing and everything.
Yes, the United States Space Force, a branch of the armed forces created under the previous administration of Donald Trump, is releasing a series of non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. In an announcement on Monday, U.S. Space Force said it had partnered with community-oriented NFT platform Eternity Chain to release digital versions of patches and coins designed for the launch of the 5th vehicle in the GPS Block 3. The NFTs will feature the satellites, launch vehicle, spacesuits, other iconic imagery. The one being launched is named after Neil Armstrong, a space pioneer and first man on the moon. According to Eternity Chain, NFTs will be interactive augmented reality tokens, one of which will feature a 3D depiction of 27 satellites orbiting from Earth in what scientists describe as a GPS constellation. Opening bids for the satellite NFT will start at $1, with collections containing between 25 and 100 pieces and ranging from $100 to $1,000. This is a historic opportunity for NFTs and blockchain space to push the medium forward and commemorate a moment both technologically and futuristically, blah, 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 blah. All right, well, there you go. Any Space Force fans in here? Yes, this is still very much a object of ridicule. You know, between the Trump fingerprints all over the Space Force deployment and just the overall Space Force itself, seemingly, yes, object of ridicule in the space. But hey, now they're bringing out NFTs, so there's that. Taking over the space domain as well as releasing NFTs. I mean, then were you wondering, is this a very futuristic and advanced government outfit? Well, question no more. The answer is yes. Has anybody seen that show? Is it called Space Force? There's a TV show.
Space Force with
Steve Carell, I think.
Yes, I did watch it. Like half of it. It was alright.
Yeah.
John Malkovich was great.
Yeah, he was actually. He definitely was. Yeah, I watched the first season of it. It was pretty funny. But indeed, you know, that show also kind of, I guess Space Force is a big joke, and that show definitely, you know, hams it up a little bit. I don't know. I thought Space Force was legit, but apparently everybody just uses it as you know, material for satire. In this case,
yeah, right. Articles and shows about.
Well, I mean, perhaps one day we will need a Space Force, and I could understand perhaps the argument that, oh well, we need to start building one now, so we'll have it when we need one. But for now, it's like, what the fuck are they gonna do? What are you gonna go Are you gonna go occupy space?
well,
Black Ops.
well,
Black Ops
space from who?
I'll have.
You know, I mean, so I can sort of see why they're a little bit of a joke.
I'll have you know, there's a lot of space junk up there that needs cleaning, and therefore we need space janitors. That's right, guys. Space Force bringing you the most expensive custodians the U.S. government has ever funded. Space Force, everybody, put your hands up. All right. Enough bullshitting about the U.S. Space Force. Let's get into this next story. MicroStrategy. Yes, we touched on this last week. Planning to raise $500 million to buy more Bitcoin. Apparently, they successfully sold $500 million in secured notes. That's right. It was $400 million early last week. Then they upped the ante to $500 million. Apparently, all that got gobbled up. The funds will be used to buy around 11,900 Bitcoin at the current price. Man, I hope they got in before the pump. MicroStrategy stock prices are up about 12.5% in the last 14 hours from the time of this article. Yes, MicroStrategy made quick work of a recent fundraising plan to raise money to purchase more Bitcoin. The money raised totaled around $488 million after expenses and commissions. Nice. As reported last week, MicroStrategy announced its plans to sell $400 million. Yes, I can mention all this. According to Business Insider, the sale received more than $1.5 billion in orders, with many coming from large hedge funds. Clearly, despite the recent price dip, major investors are still clamoring to get more crypto as notes flew off the shelf. The notes purchased are fully and unconditionally guaranteed on a senior secured basis, jointly and severely? Probably severely. Yes, that's probably what I meant to read. According to release by MicroStrategy, MicroStrategy has been on a Bitcoin spending spree so far in 2021, snatching up 20,000 BTC during the first quarter of the year, an average price of $52K. The Virginia-based company now owns around $3.5 billion in Bitcoin. The next $500 million spending spree falls right in line with the plan for MicroStrategy that Michael Saylor has laid out. The plan, of course, is to buy and hold Bitcoin to create additional value for their shareholders. the company first invested in Bitcoin back in 2020. The price has since risen over 400%. If MicroStrategy chooses to buy immediately at the current price of 40,000, the company will be able to purchase an additional 11,900 coins. With the current holdings sitting at 92,000, this would bring MicroStrategy's total Bitcoins right up to 104,000. Nice round 100,000 BTCs. Not bad. How are your BTC holdings looking, guys? You guys ready to?
You got 100,000 of them.
Yeah, I'd be lucky if I have 100 grand,
Jeez.
right? Much less 100,000 Bitcoins. Not too shabby. I guess that's what it's like to buy yourself into whale status. The 100,000 coins would have been so much cheaper if they just bought a couple years earlier.
Yeah,
No?
you know what? I should release some bonds, like maybe just a couple $100 million, just keep it small, you know, smaller than MicroStrategy. Just release a few $100 million worth of bonds, and then people could give me their money, and I'll buy Bitcoin with their money. It's a perfect plan.
I mean, I think
Why? Let's talk about it after the
You
show.
don't need to buy Bitcoin. I'll buy the Bitcoin for you. You just give me your money. It's perfect.
Yeah, I think that would complement your ambitions, guys, over in Puerto Rico. Put that on the to-do list. Maybe we'll find some wealthy investors to throw you the cash, raise the money, throw the BTC on a ledger, hide it under your deck, and we're good to go. Investors, I'm sure, will be happy.
Sorry, I lost it in a boating accident.
Yeah.
Now I know. Now I understand why Jason hit the lake this weekend. It all makes sense now.
Oh, in a boating accident.
Yes.
Should have hit it in that fishing rod.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, used it as bait. Use his ledger as bait. Apparently.
See if I can get A whales to bite.
Yeah. Yes. All right, guys. There is your quick look at. Let's have a look how we're doing on time. Pretty much at the buzzer. I have to wrap things. Here's a quick update for the Biden White House and its plans to fight against ransomware. Together with the G7, the Biden admin committed to announcing a coming commitment to fighting against ransomware. So commitment to fighting ransomware. The international community, both government and private sector actors, must work together to ensure that critical infrastructure is resilient against this threat, that malicious cyber activity is investigated and prosecuted, that we bolster our collective cyber defenses, and that the states address the criminal activity taking place within their borders. All right, so any cyberware criminals inside the G7 nation, you've been warned. They're going to come after you if you try anything funny. Cyberware, of course.
Most of our cyber criminal problems in like North Korea and Russia and not G7 nations.
Yes, ostensibly that's what we're led to think. But then again, you know, with all the latest conspiracy theories flying concerning the Colonial Pipelines hack and so forth, for all we know, these are inside jobs. But that's all I'm going to say on that topic. Very, very suspicious. If the story, again, still scant on details, but if the Colonial Pipeline ransom payout and recovery story turns out that the hackers somehow sent their money to a KYC'd wallet at Coinbase, man, very, very sus. What kind of hacker would do that? Very, very sus. Yes, but just so you guys know, it's still very much at the top of mind. One of the top discussions over the G7. Yes, ransomware. The fight against crypto isn't over. The pieces on the global chessboard were on display at the G7, and apparently ransomware is on their sites. Here's one other quick item I'm going to mention. Billionaire Paul Tudor Jones likes Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier. Yes, just recently I think he was featured stating that he's selling all his Bitcoin to get into Ethereum. Apparently not. Now he's made an about-face. American billionaire hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones has admitted that Bitcoin is a portfolio diversifier, with the businessman saying he would put 5% of his capital into Bitcoin. In a recent interview with CNBC, Jones admitted that he liked Bitcoin. The billionaire hedge fund manager compared Bitcoin to the Federal Reserve, questioning his faith in reliability and consistency of human nature. When looking at the Fed of 2013 and 2021, Jones admitted that if the Fed acted nonchalantly, he would go all in on the inflation trades. All right. So I'm going to wrap it here, guys. But yes, another billionaire seemingly flip-flopping on Bitcoin. Again, I think he famously stated recently that he's selling his BTC to get into Ethereum. Well, apparently not. He's back into Ethereum.
Back to the dark side.
Yes. And one little update here. Yes, New York anti-cryptocurrency mining bill dies in New York legislature. New York failed to pass a measure that would put a hold on new large-scale crypto mining operations. All right, it's a hold, because once you take a look at it, I think New York State is also somewhat rich in hydropower, hydroelectricity. It really, I think once you actually speak to the engineers, to the experts on the ground, it's kind of a no-brainer. Yes, we have excess capacity. There's no harm in letting miners hook up to our excess capacity and paying a fair rate, and the government receiving their fair share too. So I think this was, at least there's some sanity prevailed on the topic. Thank you, New York State legislature. Never thought I'd say that. One last item, of course, to know: hackers apparently ditching Bitcoin from Monero due to traceability issues. We touched on this last week. We talked about why do they still prefer Bitcoin, knowing how traceable it is. The dark web generally now, most dark web markets want Monero, generally speaking. And now apparently the latest developments coming out from the ransomware hacker space is that no, they really gonna now, especially now that we have this precedent of the FBI supposedly seizing that Bitcoin, Monero is going to be where they head to. Bitcoin hackers can cash out their ransomware since the assets listed on majority exchanges. However, Monero presents various challenges for cyber criminals over liquidity issues. Again, something we talked about last week. Monero not as liquid as other cryptos since its regulated exchanges have not listed it due to concerns. In general, Bitcoin has remained the go-to for hackers despite its shortcomings, blah, 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 blah. Yes, Monero, still not the ideal solution, but probably better than getting raided by the feds following a hack of the local daycare infrastructure. All right, let's get into the next segment, guys. That's a quick recap of the latest news happenings out here in crypto land. Let's see what else we have. All right, we're going to get into the live chat, see who's with us this afternoon. Let's quickly expand out this chat window and get a good look at all our lovely audience participants, see who's kicking it with us this Monday afternoon. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Shout out to Raleigh Aban on YouTube. Apparently you were first in the live chat this morning. Thank you, Mr. Raleigh Aban. Haven't seen you in the live chat in a while, but it's good to have you back. Ron Legato, as always. Ron Legato, one of the first people in the chat. Shout outs to Mr. Ron Legato. Jordan Stotts, hey, looking forward to the show. Well, we're glad to hear you. Looking forward to having you with us, Mr. Stotts, yet again. Electric, hey. Shout outs to Electric. Peckham 08. Peckham 08 is back, and he's in the YouTube live chat writing Booyakasha. All right, Booyakasha indeed. Philip Alexander Carr. Yes, Philly Carr in the live chat on YouTube writing good evening, fellas. A very good evening to you, Mr. Philly. Rokoth, Mr. Rokoth over on DLive. Hey everyone, thumbs up. Thank you very much. Political Bridge, hello. Dark Rico, happy green week for once. Yes. Happy Green Week. In fact, let me just quickly. Let me take a quick look. Let me flip my my chart to the weekly.
Happy Green Week. It's 12 hours into the Monday candle.
Indeed.
I mean, that's getting cocky.
Although we had a few green weeks in a row, if I'm reading this correctly. But yes.
Well, I mean, they're vaguely green.
Vaguely,
sure.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, it's more sideways than anything, but they closed green, you're right.
They close green, indeed. Mostly sideways. But Mr. Rico, happy green week to you as well, my man. Taz Blitz on DLive writing good evening all. Good to see you, Mr. Taz Blitz. Hard Light 1234 over on Twitch saying, hey guys, shout outs to Hard Light on Twitch. Mr. Ether is with us in the YouTube chat. Above 40K. Now let's make it convincingly above 40K. Here. Let's get a convincing pop up to the upside. No promises that, of course, we won't immediately slap everybody in the face. Let's have a look. Valk Mike. Howdy, guys. Good to see you, Valk Mike. Alex 1233. Hello, my green goblins. Yes, the green goblins are in here. Valcor Next. I think this is a new user. Shout out to Valcor Next on the D-Live. Bricks is with us on D-Live. What's up, everyone? Shout out to Bricks. Rhino TD, hello, says Rhino TD. Happy Monday, says Bricks. Mike Maker says hodl. Okay, Alex81SG. Last week we were supposed to go to 20K. Now everyone's talking about 50K all of a sudden. Yes, it's funny how sentiments can turn on a dime. It certainly does tell you that a lot of people are running around like headless chickens, never sure which way the market is going to turn. I guess the idea is you don't want to be one of the unsuspecting birds caught out. You want to be like us. You want to be the big game in the space, taking all the take profits and none of the stop losses. Bitsign over on Twitch. SEDL. What's settle? What's settle? Is this new terminology over here in crypto? Settle? Is this a play on some kind of sell? Settle?
Like hodl and settle.
Like hodl, yeah, but it's with settle. Not too sure. Seld. Bitsign. Thank you very much for the message. Bricks. I'm getting better. He's mostly gone. Feels a little stuffy though. Wow.
Bricks says he got COVID.
Yeah, I hear you. That's what I suspected. Well, best of luck in your recovery, my man. Let's stay clear of these topics. Let's keep going. Alex 1233.
Any taste anyway, buddy. Don't worry.
Exactly. Let's see. Alex 1233. Haha. Folks don't know who they're born. Polly B, Happy Green Monday shoots, maybe. Rhino TD with us as well. Let's get around. Legato, I already mentioned. Still have unfilled orders in the mid-20s and 19K. That's exactly where I have a few orders placed on Bybit. They didn't get filled. It would be disappointing just to shoot up to 50 again without having any long exposure besides what's in my spot bag. But with any luck, Ron, you and I will get our 20K, 19K orders filled. But please, not too much lower than that. Finally, Rondo TD mentioning lots of liquidations out there today. The Jay Glover on YouTube, shoutouts to you. I see your request. Hang tight. Rolo Maximus, happy to see you guys live. Thank you, Rolo. It's good to have you in the live chat as well. Always good to have some of our regulars who don't always get to catch the show live, actually in here for the live presentation. CryptoBull21 pointing out that there's a Fed meeting on Wednesday. Yes, that could very well stir the markets. Rolo Maximus, I'm hoping we get some more of 38K. Okay. Best of luck in your projections. Tyler Dukacek, there's a gap at 45 and another one at 19. I bet you they both get filled before the end of the summer. I totally feel you there. I think we could...
I don't think that's a terrible prognosis. I
think completely in line with what we're thinking. In fact, in fact, this week's bullishness might execute on this 45K gap fill that you're mentioning, Tyler. And but by what by the time you know it, by the end of June, we might very well be filling the next one. But we'll see how it goes. Let's have a look here. Fed members gather Wednesday 2 p.m. to discuss rates. Indeed. Is there any more room to cut the rate? That's the question. Are we near zero? Are we going to discuss negative rates over at the Fed? Very curious about that. Mike Maker, XRP dipped to 28 cents this morning. Which market was that on?
Yeah, I couldn't find which. I saw that too, and I couldn't find which exchange he was talking about.
Yeah, Mike Maker.
There was a coin market cap error.
Might have been a coin market cap error. Mike Maker, if you know particularly which exchange, do let us know. Did I just see a DOT got listed on Coinbase? I wasn't aware of that. Polkadot got listed on Coinbase?
It's in the process. You can't trade it yet.
Gotcha. Well, maybe a reason for its uptick, maybe not just following Bitcoin. It's likely a coin market. Yep, that's right. Torrent on YouTube. Shoutouts to Torrent. Crazy Chicken Boy. Shoutouts to you on DLive. Revolution. Low all. Okay, hello to Mr. Revolution. Let's see here. I see your request, Mr. Maximus. Hang tight. Tyler, I see your request. Alex81SG, it's still beyond me how the SEC lets Elon pump and dump an asset that Tesla is heavily invested in. Yeah, it's also beyond me. I wonder if and when the SEC is going to bring the hammer down on Elon. I guess for the time being, he's untouchable. Let's see here.
I mean, the SEC just, I mean, they don't really have any power. Notice they haven't really gone after anybody.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Well, unless they're small. I saw an Amazon employee got convicted, or the husband of an Amazon employee got convicted of insider trading.
Wow, that's the best we got. That's the best we got. What about all those committee members that shorted and sold the shit out of the market in early 2020? Before...
Oh, no, they can't prove that they were operating under non-public information. They just look like, oh, I mean, lots of people were scared about the pandemic when I was selling, you know. Yes. And it's somewhat true, but obviously these were politicians who were claiming there was no problem. But anyway, there's going to be nothing done.
Of course, that's just how it goes. Crazy Chicken Boy, clean energy definitely determines my investments. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. LOL. He is of course being sarcastic, but you know what? Many investors, this is a meme that certainly drives a lot of investment sentiment. Seemingly, you know, clean energy, whether it's financially viable or not, certainly, you know, it makes for a virtuous investor in today's world. Ron Legato, I'm pro clean energy. We should build some new nuclear power plants. Man, you know what? Nuclear, I'm not sold out. Nuclear has got a lot of issues as well, but we'll cover that another day. Dark Rico, I don't agree that he moved it. Looking at the TA, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't really think it was Elon moving the market, but again, you know, most of the passers-by, most of the onlookers, most of the average bystanders, the plebes, they certainly credit Elon with every little market move, right? Dark Rico, yes, shoutouts to you. Okay, here we go. All right, guys, I think I gotta wrap the recap of your comments. I do love reading your comments. Thank you to everybody joining us this Monday. Rhino TD thinks that MicroStrategy might have pushed the price up. But yeah, I'm not sure if they executed their buy order, how that works exactly. How do they, you know, did they tap a network of OTC people to scrounge up the coins? But maybe you'd think with them buying a few $100 million of the stuff, maybe they do in fact push the market up a bit. Let's see here. All right, guys. Space Force, just another branch to take money from the people. Outer space is fake. Research to find yourself. All right, warning. I think we got a flat earther with us here today. All right, I think we might agree on the money wasting that the government and the military industrial complex certainly does. But again, a topic we'll save for another day. All right, Gravy Grits is with us. He says he just moved, getting his ish together. And Beats Bitsign says long fiat punto. All right. There you go, guys. GBU Professor Wally is with us as well. A very special shout out to one of our top channel supporters, GBU Professor Wally. Everybody check out Gunbot University. Professor Wally, as always, we do thank you for your support. Guys, enough babble. We got to get into the next segment, and that is TA, brought to you by Alex here. I'm connecting to his stream now. Alex, feel free to flip on your trading view. All right. And let's get into the sequence, guys. I'm going to hop into the live chat, extract everyone's request. So by all means, post your request now. Repost an earlier request. It doesn't bother me. But Alex will take you through this next segment. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. So I kind of wanted to start with the CME chart today because it's just kind of the cleanest looking right now. We finally crossed back over the baseline on the CME as of I think this is Friday. So Friday would have had you unhedge and just, kind of waiting to see. And then we had a bullish movement where we kind of gapped up above resistance on yesterday's open and then had a little bit of follow through today. At this time, it really feels like we've had a good bullish impulse off of this bottom, at least such that we've got much more upside in the near term. I'm looking for, and have been for the last couple of weeks, I'm still looking for this 45K area with potential for us to reach all the way up to 49.50K. I believe I've got that area marked out on another chart here somewhere.
It just took a little longer for the pattern.
I mean, it always does. It's really hard to guess how long we might go sideways before a movement happens.
Yeah.
I've got another one here on Ethereum that's, where is it? I mean, we did only go down into this area, but I was definitely wrong about how long we'd be down in this area.
Mm-hmm.
I think what the weekly shows us here is that we have an awful lot of resistance overhead right now, and frankly, not a lot of support below us. Like, we have found support on this level, and we held it for a few weeks. Good. If price can't go down, then price is going to go up. That's kind of how these things work. But if we can, reach this area and get a little bit more momentum to the downside, we can easily break this support. And at that case, we would be looking at maybe, I would be surprised if 30,000 held again like that. So we would be probably looking for like 26,000, maybe even 23,000, which is actually a CME gap close. We notice we have a gap right over here, right around 24,000.
Yep. That's where I think that we potentially hit the teens and then get bought back up to those levels.
Well, just kind of wick all the way down in this area? Maybe.
Yeah, because if we do get that break below 30, I do believe that that's going to cause that domino effect that really gets that big sell-off. Then we get the buyback to close in within these resistance levels. I think that's the most probable case.
I don't know. The 20,000 area is just such strong support.
Well, that's what I mean. It gets bought back into the 20s. Like I think any action in the teens is going to be likely very quickly bought up if it gets that low.
I hear you, but if we even fell onto the 23,000 area, people would be buying hand over fist as we near 20K. I feel like the teens would be front run, but we'll see. I mean, I certainly can't see the future.
I just don't know how much of a buyback we're going to get before that, right? So that looking at the 45 range does seem likely, right?
I mean, 45 is a no-brainer. It's just if we go higher than that. So on Ethereum here, we're just starting to break above the daily baseline, as you can see. We're not in long territory yet. We are in a long on Bitcoin and have been since over here. We took a continuation long. So we're just shy of our take profit one. We were $100. We were within $100 of it a little earlier today, but we're just pulling back just a little bit now. But Ethereum is not there yet. We do have some resistance around 2,900. We've already tested this a few times, so if we got up there again, I'd expect it to break. I'm really looking towards this $3,300, $3,500 area. Kind of have it marked out right here. Where you can see right now we are holding this daily uptrend. See? Barely, but we're holding it. We still have the weekly uptrend pretty far below us.
Sorry, we put up a Dave Hart there, Jack.
Yeah. Plenty of resistance overhead. I think it makes a lot of sense for us to move up towards this resistance, ultimately reject, and then collapse back down under $2,000. And I have no idea what's going to happen under $2,000. I feel like $14,000 is very strong support here. I'd be shocked underneath that area.
You mean 1,400?
What?
You mean 1,400?
I said 1400.
Yeah, you said 14,000.
Okay, then 1400. Yes.
I was like, wait, what? What happened to Ethereum?
Yeah. So basically, if we break below $2,000, this is all back on the table. Pretty strong resistance support here at 1400, and that's why I'm thinking this area would be the place to look, especially because if we broke down from here, this area is also where we would be expecting to find support on our uptrend.
Yeah,
So it's not just horizontal resistance; it's support. It's got good confluence with this area right here. So, I mean, I kind of hope we don't come anywhere near 1400. We could potentially just bounce off the point of control around 1800 or so, which you see down here. Yep, 1785. Down here, trade here a little bit. By the way, I think the important takeaway here is that it really appears that alts are about to underperform Bitcoin in this spot. Maybe not from day to day, but on the weekly here, this is a very firmly confirmed reversal at this point. We still see a little bit more sideways, but I expect to see money flow out of alts and into Bitcoin, or alternately, Bitcoin to just make larger gains than the alts in general, and see us move towards this 50% ratio between alts and Bitcoin. Currently, we've been finding support at 40%. Let's go back here and look at this long term. So up here by the middle of 2017, Bitcoin is taking up all the space in the room. It's like 97%, 95% Bitcoin is the market. Then alts have their 2017 run. Very incredible. Which tops out in January. That's what this is. And then all through the bear market, Bitcoin makes gains against the alts. Okay. More bear market. Alts kind of reaccumulating against Bitcoin here. Here we go. March of 2020, right here. The entire market collapses. Boom. Bitcoin has its run starting in September. So Bitcoin makes great gains against the alts, and then alts have their run starting in January. That's this. So here we are on the weekly. Who knows how long we could trade in parity with the alts here, but it really does feel like now with all this downside done, and we're just starting to cross out of this this downtrend here. You could see on the daily that we're in for some Bitcoin gains. It's Bitcoin's time. So I think this is rather encouraging looking here for Bitcoin. Alts in general are showing just so much resistance overhead. Uniswap perp, lots of resistance overhead, not a lot of support below us. Dragon perp, lots of resistance overhead. We got our weekly baseline. We've got support resistance level up here. Not a lot of support below us. If we go below 3,000 here, and I'll right back down in this area. DeFi perp. Lots of resistance overhead, and sellers making a much stronger showing than buyers, right? So much selling volume. Buyers stepping in on reducing volume, push. Sellers a little exhausted in this area. Buyers able to take over, probably push us up towards 12,000. And we look for that drive, that second drive down that we're looking for here.
That's all I'm waiting for is that second drive down.
Same story here for exchange perp. Lots of resistance overhead. We're probably likely to break this uptrend here. We've already broken this one. It's a parabolic run. You see the trend is accelerating. Okay, so let's say this is the end of a parabolic run. What's an 80% pullback?
Right to the trend.
All right, so let's say roughly 80% pullback. And maybe we get front run a little bit, but that takes us right down in this area that we're already targeting, thanks to the brilliance and mastery of Alex of the past.
God, that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then more resistance overhead here. A long way down to get back to this uptrend. Let's take a look at the Dixie.
Whistling Dixie.
Here it is. So our weekly close is giving us a very firm confirmation of a dollar reversal here. We're definitely on the other side of this weekly trend. It took 4 weeks, but we definitely found some support here. Very rounded bottom. As you can see here on the daily, it's just very bullishly postured.
Yeah, closing
Here
above
we are on the other
resistance
side of
levels.
it. Good.
I was just saying, closing above resistance levels now that have been tested, like, that's bullish.
Yeah. Here we are back above the daily baseline. This is a significant problem for Bitcoin and the alts and traditional markets, really everything. The better the dollar does, the worse everything else does. Or you could look at the other way. When everything else does badly, the dollar is going to be doing well. So this is telling us that things are probably likely to be doing badly in the future. It's like a particle wave duality thing. You can look at it one way or the other. But what this is, the correlation between these markets are telling us that we can probably expect more downside in the future for traditionals and for crypto, simply because of this movement in the dollar.
It's an interesting spot for the dollar to be in for the current scenario.
Yeah. Rough day on the Dow Jones.
It's following that line, baby.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little bit lucky. The line is, of course, an educated guess. I did not do any TA to get this line that I drew. I was like, I just think it's going to do something like this. So
He was up late one night with his TI-89. He was going to town. That thing is perfectly vectored.
Old-fashioned graphing calculator.
Yeah.
800-8135.
He was pulling his hair out, man. I'm like, Alex, get some sleep, dude. This doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to undersell it. I didn't do anything on this.
Anyway, I think you guys can tell this looks really rough. This really looks like we've started to reject from resistance here. It's a bad way to open up the week. It's giving us a confirmed... We're opening this week with a confirmed bearish divergence. As you can see here. Actually, it's not quite a bearish divergence, I suppose. This is technically a lower high right here. But we are crossing below the daily baseline. We've got that rejection from resistance where we spent an entire 2 weeks inside of this resistance area, just trading here at resistance, unable to break it before finally starting to collapse. The Dow Jones is rough. Well, ordinarily, that would usually mean that the NASDAQ is going to be doing roughly too. But interestingly enough, the NASDAQ made... Is this a new all-time high? Yeah, it is making a new all-time high in the last half an hour. So, I gotta say, this is kind of bullishly postured. If we were still trading below resistance like the Dow, then that would be pretty rough looking. And we were as of this morning. I put up a weekly outlook where it. I mean, considering the way the Dow looks, you'd think the Nasdaq would be following it, but we're getting some divergence here. This is interesting. All right. Well, then the SPY, of course, would also be up. Nope, the SPY is down. Interesting. Getting an exit signal today on a bearish divergence. Higher high right here, lower high right here. Yeah,
looking too hot.
But perhaps it's not time to be super bearish yet. After all, we did kind of sidle up to the previous all-time high here, start to break down, and then push up into an all-time high. Maybe we could do this for a few more times here. But with the way the Dow looks, I would be very cautious. All right, so the Nasdaq is strong here, stronger than the other indices. So let's look at some tech stocks. Apple.
Big day.
That's actually, let me look at this. Let's look at this on the weekly.
Look at that rounded bottom.
We're not quite there yet. We haven't quite broken this downtrend, but we're pretty close. Very bullish day here for Apple. AMD. It's just kind of trading sideways outside of the trend at this point. Could draw the weekly trend like this. These two data points. Maybe kind of look at it like, oh, we've got this descending wedge right here. Do a measured move like so. Boom. Control C, Control V. Where does this take us? AMD brushes the previous all-time high and then go down. Maybe we are forming a complex head and shoulders here, rather than one shoulder. You can have head and shoulders with multiple shoulders. It's called a complex head and shoulders pattern. I'll let you look that up on the pattern site, but
you can get a pump back up to the baseline.
Yeah, maybe. But it's interesting that Apple is doing, much better than AMD here. Tesla is still below the trend. This is still technically, literally, it's a descending triangle pattern here, but it doesn't have to break down. It's just kind of too soon to say. I would want to break this downtrend. And Taiwan Semiconductor, let's try that. Oh, this is pretty bullish looking, actually. I like this one. Nice continuation long sale at the end of today. I think Taiwan Semiconductor has legs here. I think that you could at least take this to, let's do a measured move. Like $145, $147. There's a trade there. Okay, there we go.
might be a new all-time
I
high.
don't know, guys. It's weird. The tech stocks are diverging in this spot. What's the Russell 2000 doing? What are small caps doing? Let's take a look at this. Small caps are down today. We're actually still finding resistance right up here at the high. Very interesting. Very interesting. Natural gas and oil having a strong day. These look like real breakouts here. Natural gas is good to go. Oil is still technically not broken above our broken uptrend, right? So this is our weekly uptrend. Maybe I just drew it wrong the first time. What if it's more like this? What if we never broke below the uptrend? Okay. All right. I guess it could still keep going. I mean, we're in an area of heavy resistance still, but as long as we're above $70, I'm more bullishly postured than I'm more bullishly inclined than I am bearishly. And then platinum is finding some interesting support here in this spot. I think I see a break of a downtrend. Let's check this. Yeah. I think it's starting to do the thing right here. It's kind of interesting. We've been expecting this area for the buy zone, $1,000. But we are starting to reach this area of resistance here, support, and this wick is really interesting too. We could move up and just trade sideways more in this area before collapsing. So I doubt anybody went heavily short platinum on my say so, but if you did, it might be worth the spot taking profit and just kind of waiting to see what happens. Why don't we go ahead and start looking at chart requests?
Oh, yeah, I'm down for that. I got a small collection of them right now. Let's do it. Let's quickly hide this graphic here and reveal today's first request. All right, here we go. Let's hide this one and bring up this request from the Jay Glover over on YouTube. He's requesting polka dot.
Dot was a good continuation long signal yesterday. So let's take a look at how it looked. You see, we cross above the daily baseline over here and remain above it. Well, if it doesn't cross below the Keltner channel, I consider it remaining above it because really you could substitute in multiple different possible moving averages here and get basically the same result, you know? So, yeah. I would consider this a continuation long signal, and I took a signal similar to this on GRT. Although on this one we did remain above the baseline the entire time. So, I mean, it wasn't like close like this one was, but I would consider these to be essentially the same trade because the difference is how our moving average is reacting to the price distribution. It's basically the same chart here. Yeah. Actually, arguably, DOT's just a little bit stronger than GRT's chart. I would still be looking for resistance at $30 and $40. At this point, if we broke below 20, I would probably be looking for maybe a return all the way to a retest like 10 or 11 bucks. I'm not so sure about this area anymore. Maybe more something like this. This is, or no, that was the. Was that the measured move of the the inverse head and shoulders. Maybe I'll leave it here. I thought it was just a measurement that I had taken, but here, easy way to find out. Delete, log, Control V. Yeah, okay. It's a measured move. I'm not going to argue with it. So the market is telling us that we could end up all the way down here. Yeah, I think DOT has legs here, especially considering the rest of the market. I would feel comfortable being long DOT here, but I do want to point out that the market is telling us that the best trade in general is probably Bitcoin. There may specifically be alts that will outperform. DOT was one today. Maybe it will continue to be one. Maybe it won't be. But it feels pretty assured that Bitcoin is going to outperform many of the alts. What's next?
All right, there is your look at Polkadot. So let's dive into the next request. We have XLM Stellar for Crazy Chicken Boy. And a little heads up, of course, we're going to be opening that D-Live chest come 2:45 my time, so about 25 minutes from now.
See, this one I am not super fond of. Right now, we're still below support. So, support, break, resistance. I'm not so sure about buying it in this spot. Let's wait until we get back above 36 cents, right? Let's get back above the support level, and then we'll talk. We're not even above the daily baseline either. We'll talk when we're a little bit higher here, because right now, XLM is actually kind of following what we had drawn out for it all the way back in May. So, support. Here we
what
are.
I expected out of Bitcoin's close right there.
What's that?
This is kind of the chart pattern I was expecting out of Bitcoin's close, but it just got bought back up.
Oh yeah, where we had these two green candles, and then Bitcoin's candle for last week was green, but Stellar's was red.
Yeah,
All for a reason. Yeah, this is the market telling us that Bitcoin is just stronger right now. Tell you what, let's look at. Why don't we compare these things to Bitcoin? I'm gonna forego the USDT charts today. What's it telling us in relation to Bitcoin? Meh, right? Very meh. Here we are, crossing back below the weekly baseline.
Damn near a full short signal.
Yep. Got a downtrend here, pretty readily apparent.
Sure, they look really strong.
Now, this is the local market point of control. So I will say that this area could become very strong support. You see support, resistance, support, resistance, support again. Here we are testing it again. This area, we don't have to break below this area, but right now there's no reason to believe that XLM is going to outperform Bitcoin, right? The chart is telling us, hey, sure, maybe we could reverse in this spot. Maybe, but why not just take the trade that's obvious, right? Rather than one where you have to have faith or whatever. I don't want to have faith in my fucking trades, right? So
Faith.
Yeah.
Hopium.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't see Stellar here in this spot. It's below the resistance on the USDT pairing, and then the Bitcoin pairing is telling us that, hey, maybe Bitcoin is just going to do better, right? What's next?
All right, there was your look at Stellar for Crazy Chicken Boy. Let's have a look here. I see your requests, guys. They're being added to the list. In the meantime, we have this one for Rolo Maximus. Would love to see your guys' chart on MATIC and MINA. I know it's pretty new. Would like to know if you have any more, if you think there's any more downside. All right, let's open with MINA. We'll get into MATIC, and we'll get into MINA in a bit.
Okay. Actually, I think I got a different MATIC chart I'll pull out. So, possibility one I was looking at this earlier today. I was like, maybe this spot's a little questionable right here. But all right, fine. Let's. Well, for the sake of argument, we're gonna look at this like it's a symmetrical triangle. If so, then a measured move from the daily. Wait. Oh, okay. I didn't do the thing. Basically, this would take us to retest liquidity of the wick here. I do see some more volume at the bottom of the of this weekly structure here. I could stand to get retested. There's too much stuff in our way now. Get out of our way. You can see here from the log chart that it's a little bit of a stretch if you're looking at this from a linear perspective. And if you are, this is actually, you could probably best draw it like this. Okay. And when if you look at it from that angle, from these different trend lines, then we're still inside of this overall symmetrical triangle consolidation pattern. And plus, we're still below the daily baseline. What's our rule? It's like, just we'll let the baseline catch up. We'll let MATIC sort its shit out. I'm not sold on MATIC yet. But yeah. I do want to point out that if you're using a linear trend, then you could probably draw this in such a way that we have draw from wick to wick. There we go. Wick here, wick there, and we are breaking this, right? So, I'm just not sold for now. As long as we're below the daily baseline, maybe just leave it alone. There's stronger charts out there.
Yeah, it's not the knife you want to catch. Let it prove itself.
Yeah. What's next?
All right. Next half of this request relates to MINA protocol.
I know we've got probably newer stuff than that. Let me.
Yeah, he does mention that it's a pretty new token, not a lot of data, but he wants to know if you think there's more downside to come on MINA.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I would definitely have to classify that as pretty obvious. So
yes.
Yeah, we look pretty bought up here. I would expect a listing dump. So get out. What's next?
Get out.
Get out.
All right. There's your look at MINA. Thank you to Rolo Maximus for those two requests. Did we?
Night, I think.
Here's Tyler Dukacek's request. He wants to look at BTC dominance. Did we look at BTCD in your?
Yes, we did.
All right. Well, dominance has already been checked in on. Be sure to catch the replay if you happen to miss it. But Alex had already looked at dominance in his macro analysis of all things crypto and markets at large. Let's look at PolyB's next request. It's for PCX.
Here we go.
Chain X.
It is probably accumulating right now, but I just don't see any reason why you would want to take this trade yet. So here's our downtrend, still unbroken. Yeah, sure.
Man, I I would say that you might get that pop back up to that point of control, but if you don't break out of that trend, you're definitely hitting that lower bound of that trend.
Maybe we'll retest it, but we consolidated here and we tested it here, so we may not even reach up there. So
yeah, you might not necessarily even get that, but you're definitely probably going to test that lower bound.
Yeah. You know, if the entire market recovers here, then sure, PCX could recover too, but I just wouldn't risk it. Get into something else with a little bit more history so you know where your support levels are. What the fuck would you do if we broke down further? Where do I sell? Where do I sell? You know, get into something with a little bit more history. What's next?
All right, good advice on the PCX. Best of luck, Polyb, in your ChainX adventures. Let's have a look. All right, MATIC we already looked at. Rolo Maximus MATIC, Crypto Bull 21 MATIC. Yes, gentlemen, MATIC already crossed off the list, but thank you for your request. Here's one for Wayne Arnott. Pokedex USDT. What is Pokedex USDT? Is this a Polkadot Dex? Let's see here. Pokedex coin.
PDEX.
PDEX.
PDEX. Yes, PDEX.
That's an interesting pattern.
I do like how much consolidating this thing is doing. We don't really have enough data to do anything with this. Let's see if we've got any older data. Any older data.
Any older data?
Yeah.
They all older
data.
Yeah! Give me some Pokedex.
Get her data. Dex, here we go. Nope, this is all the history we have. You know, going purely by instinct, I like it.
Yeah.
This looks accumulate-y to me. It looks like boom, we just, you know, we open up at the very start of this mini bear market that we're in, like in April. No one pays much attention to PDEX. Push down, gets bought up, 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 and now we haven't even really gotten pushed down here. If you look at a lot of other Uniswap or other DEX charts over the last 2 or 3 months, this is from April, so 2 months, I think you'll find that they fared a lot worse than Pokedex did here in this spot. So I think it could run. And then, you know what? If you buy it here and we break down below, 1750, then I was wrong, and you just get out. That's the good part about this spot is I think this gives you a couple of low risk entry points. One is right here, and just set your stop on the other side of this. If we broke down below here and we started to put in a bullish movement here, I would take that. I'd set my stop on the other side of this, support level. See if I can take it back towards the top. I mean, this is an easy 2x from top to bottom here, or bottom to top rather. Where's my price measurer? There we go.
My data measurer.
Yep. Where's my data?
My data measurer. God damn it, Cletus.
So this is a wide range, and you could trade this successfully. There's money to be made here, but just do the low risk entry thing, and then just try and stay on top of it. Guys, do not get suckered into positions this month yet. If you want to make money and you want to buy the dip, sure. I bought the dip too, but sell when we get to resistance. What's next?
Yeah. All right, great advice as always. Thank you for the look at Pokedex. All right, let's have a look at the next request. Let me just check into the chat here. All right, guys, I do see a few more of your requests. Hang tight. I'll add them to the list very shortly. In the meantime, J. Reinhold over on YouTube wants to look at OMG.
It doesn't really look appreciably different from anything else. I feel like I've looked at this chart 10 times today already. Technically not out of the downtrend yet. I'm sure I could get. Here we go. Let's look at a. We'll try it from linear. Damn it. Yeah, even on linear, so I haven't broken the downtrend. Still not above the daily baseline. It certainly feels like this is not a bad area to be buying OMG, right? Because this is the consolidation area is right down here at 350. We break above it, we retest it. Come up here, boom, we're right back in this consolidation area. This chart actually reminds me a little bit of EOS's chart.
Is your fan going nuts right now, Alex?
Yeah, it is.
So is mine.
Why is the market dumping? Yeah, it kind of is. 939, 944.
It's just probably my computer's going nuts right now.
Yeah, I guess I just don't see. I don't see a reason to take OMG over any of the other alts or versus Bitcoin. Here, let's look at OMG Bitcoin. Huh. Okay, on lower time frames, maybe there is a reason to be taking OMG versus Bitcoin. We do have a break of the more parabolic downtrend. Although our less parabolic trend remains unbroken. It's a close one, but we're right at the point of control. I don't see this as a real inverse head and I don't see this as a real head and shoulders. If this completed, it would take us into negative numbers. It's just not happening. Like, watch what would happen. So let's measure this. Yeah, it's just not fucking happening, right? So because
unless it goes to zero.
Yeah, you mean unless it goes to negative numbers? This is negative 10 sats.
Pretty much zero. If it goes to zero.
Yeah. So I just don't see this as a real inverse head and shoulders. This is just, I mean,
yeah,
it's a toppy-ish looking pattern here. I guess maybe OMG could outperform Bitcoin in this spot. If I had to be long or short OMG versus Bitcoin here, I guess I'd rather be long. We're roughly near these lows.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
All right, we have a couple other requests here. XRP, I'm pretty sure we've already looked at XRP. Correct me if I'm wrong. If we did, in that case, all right. Well, maybe we didn't. Well, I just XRP. I don't know if I look at
Bitcoin.
Let's do it.
Can XRP outperform Bitcoin here? I don't think so. There you go. So, this is a very strange looking chart, really. It's so volatile. Man, it doesn't matter what direction you were taking XRP, you probably got fucked. Long, short, long. Jeez. To me, when I see this, I see a retest and rejection from the point of control. So we push up into this area right here. Push, push, push. Reject from the highs right here. Break down. We push up again into this. Break down again last week. I think I want to see a retest of 1600. 1600 sats. On XRP Bitcoin. And so for that reason, I also think XRP USD is probably going to underperform Bitcoin USD. Or it is already underperforming, but will continue to underperform.
All right, there's your look at XRP. Finally, we have Litecoin.
Litecoin Bitcoin actually looks like a microcosm of all the other charts, right? It's just like a miniaturized version of what the USD chart looks like. USD, let me see that. Yeah. Litecoin is stronger here than XRP.
Than BTC?
No, it's stronger than XRP, the one we were just looking at.
Oh.
Lower time frames, we're getting a little bit of volume coming in here. I'm just not sold yet on the Bitcoin pairing trades. I do like that we came down here, retested the point of control, slowly spiraled down, retest the point of control again. I think you just want to see one more drop here. Like 1, 2, 3. I don't know where we'll land here on Litecoin Bitcoin, but I just want to see one more drop. But Litecoin Bitcoin is come back. Let's try this again. It's basically trading right in the middle of this trading range right now. I would consider this to be very reminiscent of an accumulation pattern. We really want to see a full close above 5,500, and then we'll know for sure we've got a breakout of Litecoin against Bitcoin. For right now on lower time frames, I don't think it makes sense to do much with it because we're doing all this trading sideways still. What's next?
All right, there is your look at Omizigo, Ripple, Litecoin, and knocked out a 3-pack. Let's check out the 241. 3 minutes to go for the big chest opening over on DLive. Guys, get your DLive windows ready. Chest is going to be opened up in 3 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce the next request while I slowly stock the chest for the opening. Be generous, guys. Drop some lemons in the pot. I'm going to put them right back in the chest. In the meantime, let's look at Boris Bitcoin's request here for audio USDT. Man, audio coin, this is one I haven't really heard of in a few years now. Audio coin. Ticker is just audio. Top trading pair on Binance against USDT. Thank you.
Very interesting break of trend.
Yeah, this is this a continuation long signal? Yeah, I guess it's a continuation long signal. I think this is actually a really good trade. You can see we can't go any lower here. It gets bought up. Push, 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 push. Pop. Yeah, I'd take it. Let's think about it maybe for later today. Can see it maybe taking it up into the back into this range, which is a 20% gain, I think. What's next?
All right, just deposited some lemons in the chest, guys. 2 minutes to go for the chest opening. In the meantime, let's take a look at the next token on the list. We have a request here from the Splashy85. Good evening, guys. Could you please do XRP and KCS? Well, we've already done XRP, but KCS we can certainly take a look at.
I guess not a bad continuation signal yesterday. I kind of don't like how we appear to be inside of this resistance level right here. Because this is where I would have, when we were back here, if someone had asked me, this is where I would have put our first resistance level. See, it was a local point of control right here. Or there was. If we break higher, I could see us returning to retest like $11.50, $12. I don't know. I just I'm just not feeling one way or another about this. It just kind of feels like it could go either way to me. The weekly here kind of looks like we have already started to reach resistance, right? Where'd our upwards momentum go? We'll see how this week closes out. We'll know more then. What's next?
All right, there was a look at KCS for the splashy 85. Let me check the clock and see how we're doing. Yeah, the clock just struck 2:45, guys. Here we go. I'm going to be opening the chest as we speak. Let's distribute those rewards. Out the door they go. Good luck to everybody in your lemon hunt for today. Let me see here. Maybe I can put... Here's a little preview of my distribution countdown. You guys should be getting your little prompt any second now. Be sure to claim your lemons. Claim them now. Claim, claim, claim. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce the next request before I read out the winners of today's lemon giveaway. Kilo 22 on DLive says you should look at the gate kept hex. Yes, apparently hex is considered gate kept in the crypto space, the best kept secret. But in the meantime, let me just quickly shout out who won today's giveaway. Over 500 lemons, 572 lemons in today's giveaway. Rhino TD came in
$1 million.
120 lemons. Revolution with 69 lemons. Crypto Ghoul 50, Dark Rico with 40, Tricon 32 with 34 lemons. Congrats, boys. Enjoy your lemons this Monday on the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. In the meantime, yes, Hex doing Hex things, all-time highs, keeps climbing. Richard Hart vindicated.
Crazy.
But
Yep.
Any
Nothing
additional
really to
thoughts?
say about it. We don't have an exit signal or anything yet, so just I guess keep holding if you're still holding. What's next?
Yes, defied all odds. Hex did it big. Congrats to anybody next. Mr. Kilo 22, stick it out. Might keep climbing higher. Let's get into a look here at, what is this? Paranormal Debunker wants to look at Gitcoin, ticker symbol GTC. What? Oh, what is Gitcoin?
This thing is like a week old, dude.
Is this GitHub related? Let's have a look here. Gitcoin.
No, it's not GitHub related. It's its own thing. I've seen it.
Community of builders, creators, protocols come together to develop the future of open internet. Gitcoin creates a community, supports new infrastructure for Web3.
I don't see any reason to be in it right now. And there's not enough data either. I just leave it alone for a while, man. What's next?
Yes, leave GTC alone. It will sort itself out. We'll come back. Yes, leave.
To me, it looks like as much as people buy, someone's selling into them super hard. That's what I see.
Indeed. All right. Let me get this next one on the screen. The Splashy 85 writes the following. Not TA, but I would like to ask you what makes a trader successful. I mean, does it help me if I have a degree in economics or math? Does that help? Or are these just minor factors and it's all just speculation?
I would say those are null factors. Having a degree in economics will help you zero. Having a degree in mathematics will help you some. There's definitely the thing is, math will help you in building things, but it's really easy to make indicators and stuff that just does the math for you. Like there's not really complicated mathematics in trading unless you were like trying to calculate a Fisher transform formula by hand or something like that, but there's no reason that you would do it. The thing that makes a trader successful is probably emotional intelligence.
And emotional discipline.
Because you can know everything to do, but if you don't have the follow through and you can't keep to a plan and you don't have patience and you're not able to walk away from a chart, then you're going to lose your money. Yep. It's just, I mean, that's always how it happens to me. It's whenever I make my biggest mistakes, whenever I'm, like late at night when I'm emotionally weak, or, there's been times where I've woken up and it's like the charts were like, I just got to get in. You buy and then the market dumps or something like that. Those times where you're not exercising the faculties of your mind that, I'm going to be patient here and follow my plan. And, instead, you FOMO, or you're like, this just looks really good. And even though it's not my plan, I'm just going to go here because I'm just feeling it. But that's kind of how you're likely to lose money eventually in the long term. So that's my answer. Do you want to add to that at all, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I added to this in the chat as well. I mean, the thing you need to do is, first of all, understand what it is that you're doing. Don't think that you're just going in this to make a bunch of money. Like, that's the type of mentality that'll get you wrecked. What you need to do is find yourself an edge. Start back testing. Start creating systems to give yourself an edge, and then find out what your style of trading is. Otherwise, if you're just always shooting from the hip, you're statistically likely to fail, like most people do. So the first thing you need to do is begin educating yourself before you start trading, right? And then, yes, I think the most important skill is emotional discipline and risk management. If you can just use those two things, then you'll have enough experience. You'll be able to create enough experience in order to really figure it out. Because if you don't have those things, you're more likely to blow your account out before you can ever learn how to become a successful trader.
All right, solid advice. Thank you, Splashy85. Indeed, it seems like a background in professional poker playing, I guess.
Doesn't hurt.
Might translate better than any kind of econ degree, but there's that. I do appreciate the feedback from the traders on this topic. All right, let's get into the next request. Guys, I see all these extra requests pouring in, but we only got like 10 minutes left in the show. No guarantee we can get to every last one, but I will make a note of every request coming through, even if it's a little late. In the meantime, Revolution on DLive. Let's take a look at XMR since it was in the news. Yes, quick look at Monero.
It doesn't look appreciably different from everything else. Continuation long signal yesterday.
Meh.
I think we're likely to see a retest of the highs, and then I'm not really sure what will happen. I think it's unlikely we end up back below $200. This seems like a pretty strong area. We're also currently holding the weekly uptrend. And we're not far above it like on a lot of other alts, right? Like XMR is not overextended in the way that, say, Ethereum is from its uptrend. Right? So I think that's a little interesting. I wouldn't do anything with XMR in that spot. Just wait for more confirmation.
All right. XMR in the bag, not much to do there. Let me take a quick look here. This question I can answer quickly. President Mount Dew Camacho. Mr. Camacho asks, please explain the green, white, red wavy line. Is it a private indicator? I'm assuming he means the baseline indicator. Yes, you can find our full suite of proprietary indicators we've developed here inside the Kraken Crypto Laboratory.
Yeah, This is just a really cool looking moving average with some like extra bells and whistles on it. If you want to be able to do something similar, we use a Hull 60 moving average for the default baseline.
Mm-hmm. That's what I told him in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So then
I went through that.
It's got some fancy extra stuff, and yes, it is a one of the benefits of joining premium. But I don't want you to think that this is like magical or something like that.
secret
It's a whole
sauce.
60 with some bells and whistles, okay?
Exactly, indeed. Of course, if you want to check out our list of indicators, you can check out our website. Alternatively, if you search keyword cracking on the indicator search tab, all our cracking crypto indicators come up. We're the only indicators on TradingView using the keyword cracking. So there you go. Please do enjoy. Check out Premium too if you're interested. But in the meantime, let's head into the next request. So that was Monero for Revolution. We got Algo up next for Mike Maker.
This is, I don't know, this is just kind of still at resistance. Especially after getting faked out right here and then having to dump our long here, only to like come back up here. I just don't really want to touch it in this spot. Yeah, I guess you could take a continuation long signal off of it, but I wouldn't. What's next?
All right, let's get into the next request. What do we have here? All right, Mana Decentraland for Ho Nathan. Ho Nathan on Twitch wants to look at Mana. Sorry it took so long, but we're finally here, Mr. Nathan, for a look at Mana.
It looks like everything else. I'm getting really tired of seeing this particular chart.
Give it a couple weeks.
Maybe it can keep going up. The more I look at this chart, like the less I know what's happening with it. So, what else is next?
All right, that's the best we can say on Decentraland. Mana, thank you for the request and hanging in there, Nathan. Be sure to follow and subscribe. I see a lot of new users coming in through the Twitch chat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nathan, but like right now, all the alts are trading together. There's just nothing different to say about this. Maybe we can move up. I like that we're at. I like where we're at right here, but there's just no reason to take this instead of Bitcoin.
Yes, indeed. All right, closing minutes of the show, so we are gonna try to knock out these remaining requests. I appreciate everybody hanging in there patiently. Here is Mike Maker requesting AMP.
I think AMP probably has legs here, but I would make sure that it actually closes above resistance. As a matter of fact, I would make extra sure and maybe buy it with a close at like 7.5, maybe 8 cents. Time transformation here looks pretty interesting. I like that we've come back down to 0 and then moved up. Yeah, it could keep going. What's next?
Okay, let's get into one of the last requests on the day. We have Link for Crypto Bull. He wants to look at the Link Bitcoin pairing in particular. Let's see what Link BTC is up to. Old Lincoln Park.
Looks pretty crummy. Haven't been able to make it over resistance. Still below the daily downtrend at the point of control. This also looks like several other Bitcoin paired charts we've made. It's just kind of hovering at a point of control right now without any clear sign of what it wants to do. And as long as it's below the downtrend, I say just don't take it. Bitcoin's probably the better trade. What's next?
All right, breezing through these last few requests, we have one here from Anyword who wants to look at AXN.
AXN.
So what is Axonomics? No, that could be.
It's gotta be on
it's
Uniswap,
that,
right?
That one there. No, it's
Okay.
that. Let me take a
It's
look.
Rapti.
AXN. That's Axion. Top trading pair is Uniswap. Yep.
Yeah, got it. This is a good low risk location to be buying it, where you'd be like, okay, if we close back down here on the weekly, then I'll dump it. But that's the only reason you would be buying in this place, is if you thought, oh, okay, I'll buy it back near this listing price or whatever, because we haven't broken the downtrend, and there's no really good sign that we would want to take it in this spot, unless we're like, oh, I'm just in love with Axion, I'm looking for a low in which to buy it. Yeah, maybe we can hold here, but you could also get that's STAK. What the fuck? All right. Or this could happen to you where you think you are buying near a low right here, and then you get trapped in it, and then it dumps another like 75%. That could still happen. So ask yourself if you are just so super sure about that spot that is the low, because there's no sign on any of the indicators that you should be buying there. What's next?
All right, couple requests still left on the board. Let's have a look at this one for David Rice in the D-Live chat. Cardano KCS pairing. All right, he wants to see ADA KCS.
It's going down. What's next?
Timber. All right. Let's look at this question here. Let me see if I can't fit it on screen. All right, this should do. Tricon32 writes the following. He says, it's not a request, but an economic question. We could assume from the COVID crash that the crypto would also crash along with the market. But what could happen with a big inflation scenario? Would it be a safer bet? What are your thoughts? Yeah, so of course, Bitcoin didn't prevail very well. Seemed to have crashed with everything else when the market completely tanked last year. But what could you say about this, this inflation scenario? I guess is what he's asking. Will Bitcoin benefit?
You're asking me, is inflation going to cause crypto to diverge from traditional markets? I don't see how, because in inflation, everything is going up in price, right? So in that case, stocks are also going to go up in price. So there's still going to be plenty of money to be made in stocks. It's hysteria. The entire inflation thing is just hysteria.
Yes, I agree.
It's not any.
Yep.
Year over year, the government has had a hard time hitting 2% per year inflation. I would be shocked if we were able to meet that even this year. But then to keep it going forward multiple years, I just don't see it. Don't worry, buddy. What's next?
All right. No worries on the inflation front. Let's look at the next request.
Is this our last request?
Yeah, this is likely going to be one of our last ones. Yeah, here we are in the overtime segment of the show. I'm going to name the remaining requests on the board. You tell me which one you want to do. We got Pirate Chain here from Mike Maker. We have Helium Network, HNT for Mr. Camacho. He says HNT is the strongest versus Bitcoin over the last week. All right, Helium Network, Bitcoin pairing, Solana for Hacker, sent by a guy named by the Hacker WC3. Have you done Solana? We haven't looked at Solana yet. And somebody in here, Eddie's Football Talk on YouTube, shilling something called Smegma. Yes, Smegma.
Helium and Sol, and then we're not going to look at any more fucking bodily fluid named
Yeah, that one's pretty crude. I will give it that. Thank you for the shilling. But let's look at Helium Network. Or, sorry, you're looking at. Let's go HNT Bitcoin, please.
I mean, are you sure we're talking for the last week? Because it's just been down for the last week. I don't see any particular reason to think that we won't keep going down here. There's our uptrend. There's our broken uptrend. Bearish divergence. So I think there's. So I disagree with your assessment that helium is looking strong versus Bitcoin. I think still Bitcoin looks like the better choice here. What's next? It's helium, and I also want to look at Sol.
Sol,
the other one.
Sol Solana is the final request of the day, guys. This is for Hacker WC3 on Twitch.
Yeah. I'm not convinced of that one quite yet.
Yep. No, we actually don't have a continuation long signal here like we do on a lot of different tokens, and we're basically at the level where I would be telling you to sell. Yeah, if we break above here, I guess you could target $55, but yeah, right at the point of control, I just wouldn't take this in this spot. Yeah. What's next?
Well, that's actually the last token, guys. I do appreciate all the requests still coming in. Christian Zeladon on YouTube requesting H-bar. Dixie, we already went over the Dixie. Adam, thank you so much for the Dixie request. Gentlemen, it's been a great Monday installment in the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update series. We, of course, are going to be back tomorrow for another, exciting 2 hours in today's market action. We cover it all. I do see a lot of new names, a lot of new faces here in the chat. Be sure to follow and subscribe, especially if your request, your request came in just now, right at the end of the show. Sorry we couldn't get to it. As you can see on the right side of the screen, we got a pretty generous list of requests we ran through today. So we definitely don't slack on fulfilling people's requests, but of course the trick, as always, is to like, follow, and subscribe. Get your requests in early tomorrow. We'll certainly look at them, including the likes of, well, Pirate Chain and this Smegma token. Thank you for the trolls, guys. We'll, maybe we'll give it a gander, but that's not usually what we do.
It's sad that it's probably real.
It's certainly sad, but this is what we've come to, guys.
Yuck.
Man, it's not even on. It's not even on CoinMarketCap, my man. So SMGM. Nope, not even on CoinMarketCap. So it's an utter shitcoin of epic proportions. I don't care if they bought a billboard in Times Square, according to Eddie's football talk. But it's a shitcoin. I'll probably get 2 thumbs down, 3 thumbs down, or 6, depending how you count them here at the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Let's see here. Gents on YouTube, I lost my spanner. What's a spanner? Is that like a British,
I don't know what that is.
I think it's a British slang for an adjustable wrench, I think.
I hope you find it.
I'm not too sure what a spanner is. Respect, I'm going to counter. Okay. Smash the likes, says Mr. H. Damn right, smash those likes, guys. We're back on YouTube, so we should be slapping.
Tell your friends. It's hard to get people to watch again, man. We had some steam going there, and then we got banned. Now it's just the loyals. Exactly, guys. Your likes do go a long way. Can't thank you guys enough for hitting the like button, and hell, if you can, leave a comment. If you are watching the replay, if you do come check in after the show wraps, if you're not watching live, I mean, if you watch live is one thing, but if you're not watching the show live, please do us an incredible favor, leave a comment under the show. Tell us about how much you appreciate the show, or any positivity. We do like that in the comments. Helps offset all the spam and all the hate we otherwise get. You guys are loyal. I'm sure you can come through for us in this clinch. All right, let me rewind the show down right here. I'm just gonna hide this and put this on screen as we move to wrap. No, not this, but rather this here. All right, gentlemen, ladies of the live audience, be sure to check out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. That's right, we have a premium community. We have premium resources available to any aspiring traders out there. Very valuable education material. We do have the Pathways to Profits course, teaches traders how to build a system, how to systems trade, take the discretion, take all the head scratching and maybe even head banging against the desk that you may do
all the fruitless time you spend at the trading terminal staring at the candle movements, you can alleviate all that by developing a system. Become a system trader. Trade more like a Terminator rather than just a putz. You can learn this by going to premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Check out our indicator suite, our premium VIP community, and so much more. Do look forward to having you there. Speaking of community, check out discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Are you a Discord user? You should be by now. It is 2021. Have you joined what I think is the best Discord crypto community in the space? You should. Discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. We look forward to having you there. Finally, the show's going to wrap, which means after the show, usually within 30 to 60 minutes of the show wrapping, I update the YouTube video with timestamps. Makes it super easy to review each and every installment by merely clicking the timestamps in the description below. If you missed any of your requests, you missed any of your favorite coins, you gotta catch the replay because you got other things to do, kind of like Mr. Ether. He had to bail a little later in the stream. You can check out the timestamps in that description. All right, that's about it for today. Finally, I'll just mention thank you to everybody who came out for UFC Fight Night on Saturday. It was a good time hanging with the peeps in the members lounge.
That second, the secondary card was a really good fight.
It was super good, actually. A really good night of fights on UFC. It was a blast. The main event, Vittori came up quite short. Israel Adesanya.
Oh yeah, he got outclassed in that fight.
Yes, Israel is one of the GOATs, I guess. But with that said, guys, we have to move to wrap. I can't thank everyone enough. Much love to you all. Final words to our analysts. Let's kick it.
There's some longs on the table, but just don't get married to them, guys. Take profits and stuff because it doesn't look like bearishness is over. Just we're getting a reprieve.
Yeah, that's something that I was going to mention as well. Is don't get too attached to your own personal biases on direction here, because just because we got a nice bullish day at the beginning of the week doesn't mean that we can't end this week negative. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen, so make sure you're managing your risk appropriate.
All right, finally, I see someone asking, Mr. H was a mod. What happened, Jack? You know what? We had... I had to do a little bit of a reset on the YouTube front. I might have cleared out a bunch of YouTube channel settings, so you may have been demodded. It's no problem though. I can always remod you, but just shoot me a message maybe on Discord and let me know that you're on the level and you want to be a YouTube mod. Mr. H, I guess, is Rhino TD, so Mr. H, I'll make a note of that. I will try and re-mod you. All right, that's enough for today though, guys. I do appreciate all the comments coming in. Much love to you. Peace out.
Goodbye.
All right, gentlemen, another day in the bag, another day in the charts as Bitcoin dumps 39.6. We're walking back the last few hours of price action as we speak, but great episode.
Oh my god, if you narrate the chart to me
Yeah. Well,
I don't mind it, Jack. It's refreshing.
yep. All right.